Hello. We're about to get started on Chapter 2, our step-by-step tutorial for the text SPSS Basics 2nd Edition. On page 7, where we begin, we have step number 1, which is to go ahead and start SPSS. SPSS is a statistical software program, and it's used for helping you to analyze and summarize your data. And when you start up SPSS, it says, what would you like to do? One of those options is run the tutorial. And if this is the first time you're using SPSS, you may want to just take some time and do that. But to continue with our current tutorial, we're asked to go ahead and say we want to type in some data and get started. So here we are, and I'm now on page 8 of our text. And I'm looking at step number 3, which says to click on the variable view. SPSS has a data view and a variable view. The variable view is where you identify the different variables that you're going to use in your research. In this case, as we'll see, the researcher was interested in people's attitude towards school, and so the variable is going to be called school. Once we have our variable defined in the data view, we actually then record the data for each of the participants who gave us data, starting with participant number 1 and continuing on down. Okay, so according to step 3, we are to click on the variable view. We're there. Step number 4 says name the variable by typing the word school here. So here we go. And you'll notice that SPSS then immediately fills out the rest of this row for us. And typically we won't need to modify them, but as we progress in this text, we'll learn sometimes when it's helpful to do that. School. Well, school is not a very descriptive term. What are we talking about in terms of school? The number of students at the school, the location of the school. We're actually talking about attitude towards school. So let's put that in here. And I'm pressing the enter key. So school is our shorthand variable name, if you will. The label is what will actually go into the different reports that we create. And you want a descriptive label because if you come back to this file down the road, you may forget what does this variable refer to. If you have a nice descriptive label, you're good to go with that. Okay, step 6 asks us now to go to the data view. And you'll see that here's our variable school. And it's nice to have a short name here, right? If we had attitude towards school, this column would be mighty wide. So we have just the shorthand variable name school here. And we're going to start typing in our data. The data that we're going to type in appears on page 12. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting it in. I just click on the cell, and the first I'm going to put in is an 8 and then a 9. There, I have all the values typed in. You can see that I'm quite a quick typist. Step 9 asks that we check the accuracy for our entries to make sure we put the numbers in right. And you may have heard the phrase garbage in, garbage out. And what that means is if the data we type in is incorrect, our conclusions will be incorrect also. So you want to go through and make sure, did you type it all accurately? Okay, step 10 on page 14 says to go ahead and name this file. And we're going to choose save as and call the file attitude towards school. So save as, and the file name attitude toward school. And I'm saving this in the My Documents, but you may want to save yours in a different location. And I'll go ahead and click Save. And now the SPSS output lets me know that yes, this has been accomplished. And so I can just close the output window. Not interested in saving its contents. And I'm back down to my regular window here.